Hi, welcome back to SJ Law. Now we're going back into the school year. We're starting K through 12 all over the country. And we're going back into the school year in 2 weeks. So, yeah, there's no more online schooling and everyone's going back into all the kids going back into school. Now, one of the major controversies are kids to mask or not to mask. Now, parents, it's a major issue, mask or not to mask. That's a personal decision. But you have to consider the Delta variant. Now, usually my videos are about 8 minutes, 10 minutes, 12 minutes, but this might be a little bit longer because this is a major concern. To mask or not to mask? Because kids are a major, an issue. Now, kids are going to be going back into school, and all over the country, in every state. Now, some states do have going back into school, and some states are considering online tutoring as online schooling, online tutoring, as well as in-school tutoring. And most states are just doing in school. Some states are requiring full mask mandates in school. Some of them will be Connecticut, Hawaii, New Mexico, Virginia, Washington, and D.C. D.C. actually got, full state status, so now we're 51 states. Congratulations, D.C. So, but parents they have their decisions to make on whether they consider to mask their children or not. So you have a decision to make, to put a mask on your child or not. Now, the CDC does not have the right or does not have the ability to give vaccinations to children under the age, under certain ages. So kids under the age of 15, as far as I know, or under the age, I believe it's under the age of 12, vaccinations. So parents have to consider whether to mask their kids. Now, you have to consider whether to mask your child or not. I don't know what state you live in. Whoever's watching this video, it's your decision. But you have to understand the Delta variant is a very contagious virus. This virus is not a very contagious thing. It's not about your child having this virus. You may not have it, your child might not have it, but you don't know what someone else has. some other kid, some other parent might have it, they might pass it on to their kid might not be contagious, and they give it to your kid, and the kid passes it on to you. You don't know. So you have to consider that. Now, everyone, I've talked to people have considered, herd immunity. People have talked about herd immunity. They are considering herd immunity. Now, you have to understand what herd immunity means. You have to know what that actually is. You have to learn from history, people. The last time we've had a major plague, herd immunity is the bubonic plague. The bubonic plague was in the 18th century, 1720, where they had a major virus, a plague that surged through all of Europe. And the people were running rampant with a virus, a plague that killed tens and hundreds of thousands of people. And people were locked up, caged up, boarded up in their homes, and died. Not unlike what's happening now, except for they were boxed up in their homes to die. I mean, literally. The doctors found out that they were sick, and they said, you got the plague. They said, well, we can't do anything for you because they didn't have the kind of medicines that we have now, and they boarded them up in their houses and just let them die. So they just boxed them up in their homes, and when they died, they took them to cemeteries, dug the deep ditches, burned their bodies, threw their bodies into these deep ditches, burned their bodies, and then the people that survived it moved away from these villages where the plague was rampant. The plague was spread by rats and the lice that lived on these rats. The people that were not infected moved away from these villages into the hills and mountains. So the only way that the plague, the bubonic plague, was not spread was that the plague ran out of people to kill. And the lice and the rats moved into London and then were killed by the Great London Fire. So, the rats were killed by the Great London Fire in the 18th century. But don't think that the bubonic plague does no longer exist. The bubonic plague still does exist. A lot of people still get the bubonic plague in this day and age. People still do get sick from the bubonic plague in this day and age, in the 21st century. In America. But you don't really hear about it because in the 21st century, we have penicillin and we have vaccines and medicine to counteract it and cure people from that plague. So we don't really hear about it so much. At least 5 to 10 people get the bubonic plague a year in the United States of America. A year. But we have penicillin, something that did not exist in Europe in the 1800s. And that was the Great Plague. That was the last plague. But this is the pandemic plague that exists now, and we need to deal with this now. And we have a way of dealing with this now, and we're not dealing with it. But you need to try and protect your children. Now, in several states, they're issuing mask mandates. Back on topic, several states are requiring children to have masks to go back to school. And all the time to prevent whether the spread of the virus, especially the Delta variant, to prevent the spread of the Delta variant, which is more transmissible. Variant, even more transmissible than the previous virus, as well as the staff, everybody. And whether they've been vaccinated or non-vaccinated. And California itself was requiring it, and now they've made it a necessity to leave it up to the school districts to make their decision on whether the school districts and the parents to make their decisions on whether or not to wear masks or not wear masks. Now, I live in the state of Florida, and the state of Florida, the governor did not pass a mask mandate. As a matter of fact, the state of Florida, the governor said that he was not going to make a mask mandate, that no one had to wear masks, and he was taking it out of the hands, and he was not going to require, he did not want anyone to wear masks at all. And then he changed his mind and said that he was put it in the parents' hands. And then he passed a House bill to make it, required that the parents' decision to whether or not whether their kids to wear a mask or not. House Bill 241. Now, the House Bill 241 on whether their kids should wear a mask or not wear a mask. Now that House bill, it's a little sketchy because it takes a lot of, it's a little bit of judicial jargon, and it makes it, puts a lot of heavy weight into the parents' hands, and it makes it a little difficult, shall I say, for certain government organizations in the future, shall I say, if government organizations to override parental constrictions. If a parent mistreats their kids in certain ways, or if there's a problem in the house, if there's an issue, there could be an issue. HB 241 kind of constrains certain government organizations to intervene with, shall I say, certain child services to look into. Child services. So, and it gets a little legality, like authorizing parental minors in the state to engage in conduct that is unlawful to or abuse, and police restrictions and school district notifications, and it gets little legalese, and it gets a little legalese, and it causes a lot of it would cause a lot of problems with child services to intervene with parents. So DeSantis kind of jumps the gun and to try to politicize, shall I say, this whole intervention with the COVID-19 Delta variant. Uh, so I don't know what he was doing here, but he kind of jumbled this a little bit. This was a little muddled up. And there's a lot of subsections here that just really doesn't make any sense. And the president, what he did was he kind of left it, instead of writing a presidential federal mandate to all the states in the United States for a mask mandate, he left it in the hands of all the governors of the United States to do their job. Pretty much what he said was, you do your job. You are governors of all your states. I'm leaving it in your hands. Ooh, I'm sorry. He pretty much just said, you govern your states. I'm leaving it in your hands. I'm going to let you govern your states and take care of your states. And Governor DeSantis got upset about that. The Texas governor did not do anything. The California governor went one way and then he flipped over and went another. The Illinois governor did not do anything. The New York governor decided, you know what, I'm going to make everyone wear a mask because this has been messed up from day one. And the state of Florida is now one of the highest recorded states. It actually is the highest recorded state in Delta variant hospitalizations in the country. We have the highest cases of people catching the virus and the highest hospitalization rates in a week. And the governor will not put mask mandate. He decided not to have kids put on a mask when they go to school. He will not do anything. And I don't know what's going on. California is not doing a whole lot better, but they're trying. New York is decided that they're not going to go back down, so they're trying to do something. Illinois is not going to fall back down. They're trying to do something. A lot of states are not going to do better. A lot of states, there are other states that are doing very poorly. In Texas, there is a gentleman who has actually, I'm sorry, I do not remember the gentleman's name, but he followed the Texas senator. This was actually, I watched this news report where he actually followed the Texas senator who did not believe in the COVID vaccination. And he did not want to get the COVID vaccination. And when he got COVID, because he did not believe in the COVID vaccination, he did not believe that COVID virus was real, he did not believe in the COVID vaccination. And then when the gentleman got COVID, and he was at the point when the vaccination would actually save his life, and the reporter showed him the news report where the senator said that he got the COVID vaccination. He said this gentleman was in the hospital for COVID. And he watched the senator say he got the COVID vaccination. This gentleman was in the hospital for COVID, and he said, I still won't get the vaccination. He said, the doctor just told you the COVID vaccination will save your life. He said, I still won't get the vaccination. Ain't that something for you? Now, some people believe that COVID is, the vaccination is just a bunch of malarkey. It's just made up. The vaccine is both. I don't know why someone would actually believe that, but if you watch my previous video, I got the vaccination myself, and I feel perfectly fine. I'm doing healthy. I'm doing great. I feel no side effects. I'm doing good. I go out. I jog. I eat burgers. I eat pizza. I cook. I feel great. I go to work every day. I'm fine. I watch my videos on TV. I'm good. But some people don't believe in the vaccinations. If you don't believe in getting a vaccination, that's your decision. But herd mentality, like I said, is not something that you can actually believe in, because the only way herd mentality can work is after a virus is killed off everything that it can kill off. The only way, everything else has to move away, and the virus has to kill off everything. So unless you're not vaccinated, and you move to Kilimanjaro, and the virus has wiped out everything else, that's it. That's how herd vaccinations work. And if you think that for 1 second that I'm making any of that up, if you think that I'm pulling your chain, that I am full of anything, pick up a biology book, look up a virology book, a biology book, a virology book, and look it up for yourself. You don't have to pick up. As a matter of fact, this is the 21st century. Don't pick up a book. Google it. This is the 21st century. Google it. Google how herd mentality. Google how herd immunity works. I'd like to thank you for watching my video, but I do hope that you do get a mask. Everyone in all states, wherever you are, Minnesota, wherever you are, Minnesota, Montana, Texas, Minneapolis. I got friends in North Carolina. I got friends in, I got a friend in Michigan. I got another friend in Georgia. I got another friend I got family in Utah. I got my friend in Chicago. If you're watching this, how you doing? If you're watching this, what's up? If you watch, I hope that you wearing your mask and put on a mask. That Delta variant it spreads faster than the virus that was. The Delta variant spreads a lot faster than the previous variant from last year, and is a lot more contagious. I thought that we were past the one from last year. I got my vaccination, and I was hoping I could take my mask off, and then this happened, and now I'm putting my mask back on. And my nieces and my nephews are going back to school, and I'm hoping they stay safe. So, hoping they put their masks on. So, I'm just hoping I'm hoping all the people watching this video keep your mask, put your kids in a mask so that they stay safe, because you don't know that if your next door neighbor or the people that you're sending your kids to school with, or if the people that you're sending your schools with, if their kid has a mask on, and you don't know if that guy, Jimmy's dad, has the Delta variant, and Jimmy, is the carrier, and Jimmy might cough on your kid, and Jimmy brings that virus to you. So you don't know. So you got to be careful. So please be safe. Wear a mask, please. Give your kid a mask. If you like this video, like, comment. I do respond to comments. Share, subscribe. Watch my videos. I do have more videos coming.